Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the School Science. My name is Luke and this is the Bramley project. Now I do apologise for the delay in this one. We were having some issues with my phone connected to the drone. We figured out it's actually an issue with Android and I was able to swap to an older phone and we could actually make use out of it from there. So as we go on to things, we can notice that the likes of the East Stand and the Fan Plaza, there isn't too much. However, this is one thing I do need to make clear with you guys. The reason I keep putting it in from time to time, well, from video to video, is just more down to the fact that it brings inconsistency, to tell you the God's honest truth. It's more of a consistent sort of thing that we can have in, so that when work does get done, we've got reference points in the past that we can refer to when we can see changes and everything. That's the main reason why I put it in there, and you know, it's just how the system works that I've got in place right now. Now looking over on the south stands, to say there's been a decent amount of work is an understatement. It's an absolute monumental amount of work getting done, and I've got to tip my hat to all the workers who are working on the site right now and getting the work done as quickly as possible. So looking over the stands and everything, one thing I will actually have to mention is the little middle point between the upper and lower tiers there. Well, I say upper and lower tiers, just the middle point, the middle two sections that you can see. That isn't going to be hospitality, I do apologise about that. It's more of a concierge area that anyone who's in that south stand can see out of and can actually see into the city through where Nelson Dock is, going south from there. So that is one I'm just going to rectify real quick, and I do apologise for the misconception on that one. I was making an assumption based on what I could see, and unfortunately it was one that was fairly wrong, so apologies about that. But looking over on the south stands as a whole, there is a lovely amount of work going on. So as we can see, most of the south stand is actually done now in terms of stage 3. So what we've got now is all the stuff in place for the seating, and the rails that the seats are going to be attached to is in place. One thing I will say though is there is a bottom tier that's going to have to go in as well. That'll probably get done later on down the line. Now, there is some videos out there where people have actually encroached on the site. I don't condone doing that sort of stuff, but they've actually pointed out that that stuff is slowly moving down, so you can actually see it in some of the other videos. I'm not referring to them. I'm going to have it so that you guys have to look at it yourself, because I cannot promote that sort of stuff with people breaking the rules like that. Now, I do sound like a goody-goody two-shoes, but quite frankly, I don't want to, start breaking the rules, going on site and getting videos on site, and run the risk of Everton turning around and going, nah, you know what, screw you guys, we're making this into a no-fly zone, you're not coming on the site, full stop, that's the end of it. But yeah, as part of the south stands and everything, you can see from, and this is actually one point now, from the west stand here, you can actually see a little glimpse into it. So as it goes down in the south stand, you can see it sloping in. It's going to pretty much come down to where the floor level is, because the south stand itself is pretty much going to peer over the pitch. Now, the one thing I will mention now in terms of the west stand, the amount of work getting done is just absolutely beautiful. Everything is moving along nice and smoothly. It is perfectly going along as pace. Apparently, in terms of steelwork, they're actually 3 months ahead of schedule, which is great. The only thing is, though, when it comes to the winter months and the bad weather, it will restrict their usage on the site, especially with the large cranes. They cannot be operated in high winds or adverse weather, which is unfortunate. But right now that stuff's getting done, now that we're actually moving nicely ahead of schedule, that's great. I cannot complain in the slightest. And just West Stand itself, everything's coming along great there. You can actually see everything slowly coming from level 1 into level 2. So it won't be long now before steel starts getting introduced onto there. Now, looking over on the north stand, again, there's a nice little middle section there. Now, this one I don't think is going to be as, glorious of a sight to see, because where the height is of that middle section, you're pretty much on line with where the wastewater treatment plant is. So looking out from there, you're not going to see too much unless you're looking from the northwest corner or the northeast corner, where you can actually sort of peer out and look either into the Mid Mersey or into the city of Liverpool. You won't be able to look into the city centre, obviously, just because you're in the north stand. But you'll be able to look into those sorts of areas. But the main north area, where it's situated and its height and whatnot, it's a situation of you're going to be looking pretty much at the wastewater treatment plant, which, let's be honest, it's not It's not an eyesore, but it's also not, a sight to see. It's a wastewater treatment plant. But yeah, the north stand itself, as we know, it's a two-tier terrace. Likewise with the east and west stands, they're both two-tier terraces. And from there, you're gonna have the situation where we're gonna see it get introduced into a secondary point of the tier. So when that starts to become more profound, I'll be able to actually talk into better detail about it. But as a whole, actually, you know what? I need to stick my foot in my mouth now. Because you can actually see it just from looking at this point of the video right now. You can see where the terraces are now being introduced. So what it is, it's literally just a it's just a platform that the second tier will sit upon that will encroach over where the bottom terrace is. However, we can say safely it's not going to encroach on any form of view. Like if you were, say for argument's sake, in the lower Gladys, if you're in the lower Gladys, you know for a fact near the back of the lower Gladys, if you're sitting there, you've got possibly one of the worst views possible, with it not being an obstructed view. Just for the fact that when people stand up, your gap goes very, very tiny. I mean, a derby, when I was a kid, I went to a Merseyside derby, and unfortunately we were in, I think it was like double J, double L, and it was like you had a gap that was just, it was literally like trying to peer through a letterbox. It wasn't great. So thankfully they're going to be knocking that sort of stuff into the past, and we're going to say goodbye to the obstructive view. Now it could be a very foreign feel for some people, where they're going to not feel right not having an obstructive view. So I would recommend, if you do, get yourself a poster tube, you know, like one of those tubes that you store posters in, and just put that in front of your face while you're watching the game. It'll give you that lovely Goodison feel again. But in any case, guys, I have talked enough shit as it is. We're going to now see you into the outro and talk about a few things as well. So take care, have a great day, and peace. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, I'd like to say a huge thank you to all my patrons over here. So if you want to be like any of these guys and get early access and free content to my channel, why not go over to the Patreon and become a part of the School of Science Superfan now? Also, we have got two tiers there. So the first one being your typical, it's called the cup of coffee tier. So it's £1, no real perks or benefits, but it's essentially like you reaching into your back pocket, going, Luke, I like what you're doing, mate. Thank you very much. Here's £1 on me. Go get yourself a cup of coffee. That's it. However, if you want to get a little bit more from the channel, so say your ad-free content, your early access to the Bramley videos, your name here to show how much I appreciate that you guys are supporting the channel, or if you're there for long enough, so it's usually around 3 to 6 months, depending on how things are going, but usually between 3 to 6 months, you get yourself a School of Science sticker that's about yay big, black and white, and it's my first rendition of the sticker. Now that itself has got its own benefits in the sense that you can stick it and show your support on certain items, or even on a backpack or something. I personally have got one myself. I've made my own. I wasn't able to get one from Patreon, so thanks Patreon for, you know, making one for me. Obviously you didn't, but I've got my own version of it, and it's actually sitting on the back of my phone. But you can put them on pretty much anything that you feel is fit, whether it be a laptop, your books, a phone, on a lamppost, somewhere outside of Anfield, just to have fun with the Liverpool fans. It is pretty much yours to use and abuse. And as I say, it's a sticker that I feel like if I see them around the place, I do actually get a little smile. I have actually seen one of the stickers around the city centre, and it did actually make me grin seeing. I was like, huh, someone's actually put it out there. But in any case, guys, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching this video. I'm sorry for the rambling, but in any case, thank you all very much for watching, and I'm going to see you all in the next video. Peace.